Deer diarrhea full of shit. Just play along with myself and I, you know what else? I'm so legit. Watching me some Better Bachelor. His sponsor was Black Forest Supplements. Cocoa flavanols and flavonoids. I figured I'd shout that out. I have one of those. Well, I always have two of whatever it is. Sometimes three. That way I can have two in the pantry and one in the refrigerator. That way I know. It's like, hey, I'm out of ketchup, or whatever. So that's where I have one bottle of ketchup, plastic squeeze thing in the refrigerator and two in the pantry. But I was always going to shout out, make that video of my supplements and never got around to it. And I was going to do that for Katie Boo, and then the fucking bitch decided to do what she did. So I'm pretty sure she did. So that's just what's up. So anyway, that stuff's good for you, I guess. I eat it with oatmeal. Oatmeal's good because it's good for like your heart and cholesterol. It does something. It like binds to the cholesterol. Something. But anyway, I figured I'd just real quickly shout out my supplement routine. And like I said, there's 7 days in a week. So I take, half of these pills, 3 days out of the week, and the other half the other 3 days. And I stagger them. And, if it says take one pill every day, I'll take one pill every other day. If it says take 3 pills a day, I'll take 1 pill a day. The only thing that one of these pills that I really take a whole lot of is the Metamucil pills. It says you can take up to 5 pills 4 times a day. I take 5 pills 3 times a day. And once a week, I take a swig of colloidal silver. You're probably thinking, wow, once a week, why bother? Well, once a week is once a week. I'm kind of hesitant about it because there was a guy, I guess, who drank a whole bunch and he turned blue, but he was drinking like a lot. And again, the directions say that you can basically slam that shit all day, and it's like, no. So anyway, I won't get into like all the details. I'll just sort of name them out. Oh, and then on Sunday, I don't take anything but the fiber. I don't know why. I just figured, a day where I take a break, whatever. So Metamucil, 3-in-1 daily fiber, whatever. It says heart health, lower cholesterol, blood pressure, fish oil. These things, I forget what the fuck they even are, but NAD plus and NMN plus. One is from Black Forest, one is from like Wellness, what have you. And I don't know, it does something like with your stem cells. I don't even fucking remember, but I just know that they're good. And I heard about them through my peeps. Probiotic, just for your gut health. 1 a day for men, which is, just multivitamins. Let's see, Urinozinc Prostate Plus. Kidney Cleanse, which I'm not sure if this is supposed to be something you're supposed to take all the time, or, it's a cleanse. You take the bottle and then don't take it anymore. I'll have to research that. Because I've been taking it, for years. So if it was supposed to be just a cleanse, whatever. Collagen pills, just vitamins for like your knees and shit. I don't know what. Let's see here. Beetroot, garlic, the cholesterol version. I just sort of, whatever. I don't know. They have different versions. And turmeric, which also comes with curcumin or whatever. Apple cider vinegar pills. I do have apple cider vinegar, but I can't bring myself to, take a spoonful, because I thought maybe I could take the pills and take a spoonful of apple cider vinegar one a week. Maybe I'll try doing that. Because all of these supplements, you still want to eat your fruits and vegetables and shit like that. It's just these kind of help, shore things up, because it's hard to get all the nutrients, sometimes. Same thing with those protein shakes, Premier. They're whey, dairy, and dairy is, and causes inflammation, but so does everything. That's why you just sort of got to get your nutrients from different sources. And let's see, what is this? Lion's mane. It's made from like mushrooms. It's good for like your brain, I guess. Supports focusing. Ginkgo biloba. Mental alertness. Horny goatweed, because, I'm not even sure what this shit does. Does it make you horny? I only take one of these a week. Because I think this like, I probably don't even need to be taking this. That just sounded funny. Because I have, look, it says here, energy, strength, maca. I'll have to, let's see. Yeah, I definitely don't need any sexual supplements. That's for damn sure. But like I said, so, I mitigate it. I take, let's see, it says take 2 capsules, every day. I take 1 capsule, every 7 days. So, and Fedosia agrestis with Tongkat Ali. This is that supplement booster shit. Which again, like I said, I don't know if I need, like I said, I had my, T levels tested and they were in the mid 9s, and that's basically at maximum human capacity. So, and then again, I always have like I said, with my, mustard and shit like that, I have the ones that I'm using, and then I always have at least 2 in stock. So when I'm down to 1, I know I need to reorder. And some of them I have more, like the Metamucil, because I go through a lot of those. I've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 5 extra. I did order a lot of this Fedosia agrestis, because I figure, that's something that's going to be important. I should probably order more of this NMN and this NAD. So instead of having my standard 2, I'll have like, 4 of those or 6 or whatever. And, call it good. And most of them are powder capsules. The fish oil is a gel capsule. And then the ones that are hard, I don't grind them up, but I do cut them in half with a pill cutter, because it exposes another side, to be processed by your body. Because I figure it might be designed, that way, so it stays a solid in your stomach and travels into your small intestine, as opposed to where if you ground it up, it might not be the way it was designed to release into your system. Whatever, I just sort of make things up. I'm not a doctor. And then, hydration. During the summer, it depends, if I've been outdoors or whatever, if I'm working or whatever. But in the winter, because it's kind of harder you're not really like hot as much, I try and drink at least a half a gallon of water. And, in the spring, summer, and fall months, I try and drink, a gallon of water. then I've got that flavored seltzer, you know, and I'll add a little bit of bottled water, add a little bit of tap water, and then pour the can of seltzer in there. I buy the LaCroix because, well, they sell it, you know, at the local market where I shop. And a lot of these flavored seltzers, unfortunately, they sell them like instead of 12 packs, it'll be an 8-pack, you know, or it's like, I don't know if they're trying to, you know, squeeze more money out of you, you know, so you buy 2 or whatever. I'm not even sure, but, you know, so it's like, fuck that. So, because I actually liked bubbly better than I do LaCroix. And LaCroix is almost kind of too carbonated. I've heard people talk about that before too, so that kind of thins it out a little bit. I need to get me some big 5-gallon jugs of water, the kind that you use with the water machine. Maybe I'll get one of those, because the water out of my tap tastes like the rubber membrane in the pressure tank, and I don't like that. I should taste it at the water that comes out of the spigot. See if it tastes like that, because it doesn't go through the tank. I could get a reverse osmosis filter, you know, on my, not for the whole house, but just for the faucet in the kitchen. But, you know, I don't know how much that would cost, but it's probably a pretty penny. I know they have like those Brita filters and stuff, and they have them that go right on the spout. I've got one of them, just like the pitcher, and it works good. But just in terms of like survival, you know, I've got 52 servings of beef stroganoff in a ReadyWise bucket that I ordered off the internet. So for me, that's, you know, eating once a day, and I could eat every other day. So I've kind of got my food situation as far as calories ready. I've got protein powder, you know, in case I need to add it, you know, to oatmeal or whatever, because like I said, you know, get your nutrients. I've got, you know, big industrial cans of powdered mashed potatoes and canned fruits and vegetables, and, you know, I've got 4 things of oatmeal here. I eat these, but, you know, I always just, actually 6. So I've got some stuff in here, you know, this is stuff that'll like last, you know, peanut butter, crackers, shit like that, you know, in case the whatever food supply runs out. But water is where it's at, because you can only go, you know, 3 days without water before you're dead, and you can really only go 1 day until you're hurting. You know, your cells are starting to dry up, your brain is shrinking. So, you know, after a day and a half of no water, you know, it's like you're operating at 50%, you know, because your body needs water. So really, you know, you need water every day. So, you know, having 6 gallons of, you know, water on hand really isn't gonna cut it. I need to have, you know, shit, I'd have to do the math. No need to go crazy with the Cheez Whiz. And I would just store those downstairs in the basement, you know, not up here in this pantry that I use. Because when I finish the basement, I'm going to have another pantry / storage closet, you know, where I'm going to keep stuff. So yeah, but I'm thinking, yeah, probably like 30 gallons of water, you know, just on hand, you know, to drink, you know. If it, you know, fell on hard times, I wouldn't be bothering, you know, taking showers and shit, you know. Yeah, and yeah, probably build an outhouse, you know, Humans are so fucking dumb. I'm just thinking of these data centers, for all this AI and shit. I've heard different stories. I've heard that they guzzle up, millions of gallons of water. I don't know if that's monthly, yearly. I wouldn't think it would be daily. And I've also heard that they're, a closed unit and they just recycle the same water. And they only use 4 or 5 households worth. Which is, what, a house full of 10,000 people, or what are we talking here? You know what I mean? So I don't know. I hear those things are a disaster. I hear they're noisy. Like they make this constant humming sound just like all the time, and just watch it burn, man. Unfortunately, that's easy to say, it's like, well, gee. AI is going to take everybody's jobs, and electricity is going to go through the roof, and the aquifers are being drained, and it's kind of some bad shit here, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. The elites don't care. Like I said, they're only focused on themselves, their immediate family and friends, and then 2 or 3 generations down, if they're even thinking of that. So when the Ogallala aquifer runs dry, the biggest aquifer, in America, basically, that big one in the Midwest, I don't care, because they're going to be on some fucking private exotic island with their own personal desalination facilities, which in theory, I hear it costs a lot of money to do that, which isn't a problem for them, but it costs a lot of energy as well. However they want to go about that, a combination of wind, solar, Gigalin's coconut bike, however they want to do that. But then the saline solution that you put back into the ocean is like really concentrated. So you got to be careful how you get rid of that. So, because you can fuck up the ecosystem and kill a bunch of marine life, because you're dumping, you're taking the salt out of seawater so you can have fresh water to drink, but then the byproduct is super duper salty water, that you're dumping back into the ocean. So I guess that's all I gotta say. I took that one video down. I still have it on my phone. I'll listen to it out of curiosity. The other 2 I think are all right. There was that 25-minute, and there was like an 7 or 8 minute. Then there was one where it was like, "Hey, bundle baby, you make me fucking horny." And it's like, I don't remember what I said. I kind of started to listen to the beginning. I didn't sound like I was too drunk yet. But I do have a tendency, when I get drunk, or, I listened to it and decided I forgot to say something, and, I just do stupid shit. I mean, none of it's, you know what I mean? And I'm talking about sexual shit, and it just makes me sound pathetic. And not that I care, but you do want to kind of have, for lack of a better word, don't come off as so pathetic, But so anyway, I don't know. I'll listen to it. Fucking, because I don't even remember. It's like I said the one thing because of the picture. It's like my mind's going. It's like, oh shit. What could I have possibly needed to add to that? Oh shit. No proper shaped whale tail, dagwhammit. Proper shaped whale tail. Fuck. I can only imagine how stupid. Anyway. Guess that's all I got to say, baby. 20 minutes. Hey,